San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore says his department will no longer heed requests by federal immigration officials to detain undocumented people in jail past 48 hours. The policy switch follows a federal judge's ruling in April that the detainers violate the Fourth Amendment's protections against unreasonable seizures. Joining me is policy analyst Homaira Yusufi Marin of the local chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union. San Diego, Homaira, is California's second largest county. How significant is it when the state's second largest county says, look, federal government, we're no longer going to honor your requests to hold these undocumented people in our jails past 48 hours?
Well, I think it's, definitely a huge deal. I mean, not only is it the second largest county in the state of California, we're also a border community, and so we have a much larger presence of immigration enforcement here. And I think that the sheriff making this stance is really important. I think that, a lot of individuals, including law enforcement, have realized that over the past several years, having these immigration policies and local law enforcement interacting with federal immigration enforcement in the way that it has, particularly through these immigration detainers, has really harmed our communities. It's, eroded the trust between local communities and with law enforcement. It has been a waste of tax dollar money. The fact that, they're spending their own money and their own beds, really detaining individuals who do not have a criminal custody. It's more of a request that ICE is making to hold these individuals for a longer amount of time.
How hard did the local chapter of the ACLU lobby Sheriff Gore to change this immigration hold policy?
Well, we've been working with Sheriff Gore for, the past couple of years with the passage of the Trust Act last year that looked to limit this detainer policy. We've been informing his offices and his department about the need to really, make a clear line between the interactions that they have with ICE. And so when this federal court ruling came out, we did send a letter to Sheriff Gore informing him about the potential legal consequences of continuing to hold these detainers, and followed up with them. And we were very delighted to hear that they have chosen to stop honoring them.
So this detainer policy was meant to identify people who are here without proper documentation, and also to identify those without the proper documentation who have past criminal convictions and are eligible to be deported. Yes. Did the program remain true to that mission?
I don't think so. I mean, if you look at ICE's own numbers of the individuals that they have detained and deported, the vast majority of them have had no criminal record whatsoever. That's why advocates such as myself have been involved in trying to, limit detainers and to prove that they're unconstitutional, because we have been having families who are being torn apart. They have no criminal history whatsoever, or they have some minor misdemeanor offense that they did 20 years ago, and now they're being detained and deported because of them. And it's just become, something that's very egregious and is harming our communities, and like I said, is really affecting our public safety, because our local immigrant communities can no longer trust the police.
So these detainers are not warrants. They're not signed by judges. No. Do you expect more federal judges to take a closer look at them?
I expect they will do so, and I hope that they find the same ruling that these are unconstitutional. They are not arrests, and the fact that the sheriffs and counties across the state of California, and actually across the country, there's been more than 40 counties that have already changed their policies, recognizing this ruling and the importance of it.
We wanted to have a representative from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agency. The agency declined, but it issued a statement that reads, when law enforcement agencies turn over criminals into ICE custody rather than into the community, it helps protect both public safety and the safety of law enforcement. To further this shared goal, ICE anticipates that law enforcement agencies will comply with detainers. Do you believe that to be true?
Well, I mean, I think that the fact that they're changing their policies states that counties will not continue to do so, especially San Diego County. And I think that the statement stating that, these individuals are criminals, I mean, I think if they're being released, they've already served their time. The courts have already proven, and the jails have already decided, that these individuals are not a threat to society and that they should be released. And so I would hope that counties would continue to release them and return them back to their families.
And we're going to wrap it up there. Homaira Yusufi Marin, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.